This is breaking news from RTV6, working for you.
First up here at 5 o'clock, breaking news in just a few moments. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is expected to announce an impeachment inquiry following reports that President Trump may have sought a foreign government's help in his re-election bid.
Meanwhile, President Trump says that a formal impeachment inquiry by House Democrats would be, quote, positive for me. Democrats are expected to explore whether the president pushed Ukraine's leader for help investigating Democrat Joe Biden and his son during a summer phone call. President Trump says he has authorized the release of a transcript of the call for tomorrow.
And we are monitoring where this will be happening. Nancy Pelosi is approaching the podium there. Let's listen into what she has to say regarding President Trump.
Last Tuesday, we observed the anniversary of the adoption of the Constitution on September 17th. Sadly, on that day, the Intelligence Community Inspector General formally notified the Congress that the administration was forbidding him from turning over a whistleblower complaint on Constitution Day. This is a violation of law. Shortly thereafter, press reports began to break of a phone call by the President of the United States calling upon a foreign power to intervene in his election. This is a breach of his constitutional responsibilities. The facts are these. The Intelligence Community Inspector General, who was appointed by President Trump, determined that the complaint is both of urgent concern and credible. And its disclosure, he went on to say, relates to one of the most significant and important of the Director of National Intelligence's responsibility to the American people. On Thursday, the Inspector General testified before the House Intelligence Committee, stating that the acting Director of National Intelligence blocked him from disclosing the whistleblower complaint. This is a violation of law. The law is unequivocal. The DNI staff, it says the DNI, Director of National Intelligence, shall provide Congress the full whistleblower complaint. For more than 25 years, I've served on the Intelligence Committee as a member, as the ranking member, as part of the Gang of Four, even before I was in the leadership. I was there when we created the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. That did not exist before 2004. I was there even earlier in the 90s when we wrote the whistleblower laws and continue to write them to improve them to ensure the security of our intelligence and the safety of our whistleblowers. I know what their purpose was, and we proceeded with balance and caution as we wrote the laws. I can say with authority the Trump administration's actions undermine both our national security and our intelligence and our protections of the whistleblowers, more than both. This Thursday, the acting DNI will appear before the House Intelligence Committee. At that time, he must turn over the whistleblower's full complaint to the committee. He will have to choose whether to break the law or honor his responsibility to the Constitution. On the final day of the Constitutional Convention in 1787, when our Constitution was adopted, Americans gathered on the steps of Independence Hall to await the news of the government our founders had crafted. They asked Benjamin Franklin, "What do we have, a republic or a monarchy?" Franklin replied, "A republic if you can keep it." Our responsibility is to keep it. Our republic endures because of the wisdom of our Constitution, enshrined in three co-equal branches of government, serving as checks and balances on each other. The actions taken to date by the President have seriously violated the Constitution, especially when the President says, Article 2 says I can do whatever I want. For the past several months, we have been investigating in our committees and litigating in the courts, so the House can gather all the relevant facts and consider whether to exercise its full Article 1 powers, including a constitutional power of the utmost gravity, approval of articles of impeachment. And this week, the President has admitted to asking the President of Ukraine to take actions which would benefit him politically. The actions of the Trump presidency revealed the dishonorable fact of the president's betrayal of his oath of office, betrayal of our national security, and betrayal of the integrity of our elections. Therefore, today, I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry. I'm directing our 6 committees to proceed with their investigations under that umbrella of impeachment inquiry. The president must be held accountable. No one is above the law. Getting back to our founders, in the darkest days of the American Revolution, Thomas Paine wrote, "The times have found us. The times found them to fight for and establish our democracy. The times have found us today, not to place ourselves in the same category of greatness as our founders, but to place us in the urgency of protecting and defending our Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic." In the words of Ben Franklin, to keep our republic. I thank our Chairman Nadler, Chairman Schiff, Chairman Nadler of Judiciary, Chairman Schiff of Intelligence, Chairman Engel of Foreign Affairs, Chairman Cummings of Oversight, and Chairman Cummings I've been in touch with constantly. He's a master of so much, but including inspectors general and whistleblowers. Congresswoman Richie Neal of the Ways and Means Committee, Congresswoman Maxine Waters of the Foreign Financial Services Committee. And I commend all of our members, our colleagues, for their thoughtful approach to all of this, for their careful statements. God bless them, and God bless America. Thank you all.
Madam Speaker, never before has the President been working.
You've been listening to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Breaking news that we're following. We've learned that the House will move forward with an impeachment inquiry. Nancy Pelosi saying no one is above the law, that President Trump must be held accountable, saying Trump has put national security at risk and violated the oath of the Oval Office. Again, the breaking news we're following, you just heard live. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announcing a formal impeachment inquiry. We're beginning analysis, and we'll have more for you as it develops right here on RTV6 and the RTV6 app. Other news of the day that we are following, a chilling statistic to pass along to you tonight. Indiana now ranked 3rd out of all 50 states for railroad crossing deaths.
Governor Holcomb has declared this week Rail Safety Week in Indiana. And so you might notice safety crews out warning drivers of the dangers at railroad crossings.
RTV6's Stephanie Wade shares a mother's story of losing her daughter in a railroad collision.
CSX agents and police have written several violations at this railroad crossing on Indy's Near East Side today. They and other safety officials are doing the same this entire week across the state to warn people of what can happen when a car and a train collide. We spoke with a family today who knows that all too well.
You hear about it happening to other people. It doesn't come into our home, and unfortunately this time it was us.
March 19th is a night Krista Smith never wants to remember. Her 20-year-old daughter, Shauna, died after being hit by a train on her way to work. Shauna was killed at this crossing on Tracy Road in Whiteland. We don't know if she saw the train coming or not. The town manager was there that night and was so devastated by this loss that they had these signs made to place at every railroad crossing throughout Johnson County. As part of Rail Safety Week, companies like Louisville and Indiana Railroad and CSX police are out, making sure people stop when trains are passing by. And if not, they're writing violations. Last year, there were 150 railroad crossing collisions in our state alone, where 54 people were injured and 17 Hoosiers died as a result.
Getting a phone call in the middle of the night to say come to this accident is just devastating, and we certainly want to bring awareness so that this doesn't happen to anyone else.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
And it is our mission to work for you. If you don't think you are getting the results you deserve, reach out to us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
You likely saw this huge plume of black smoke today, especially if you were anywhere near downtown Indianapolis. People as far away as Carmel and Hendricks County let us know they could see it too. Tonight we are getting answers regarding the cause. The Indianapolis Fire Department says an employee with Midtown Recycling on South Tibbs Avenue was draining the fuel tank on a vehicle this morning when the fuel ignited and started the fire. The flames spread to several vehicles and a large pile of salvage material. The fire was so big the Indianapolis Fire Department had help from Decatur Township Fire, Wayne Township, Speedway, the Indianapolis Airport Fire Department, IMPD, and the Marion County Health Department. Firefighters got the fire under control in about an hour and 15 minutes. Luckily, we can tell you no one is hurt in this. Tonight, two men who always have an eye on reducing crime are demanding action after someone shot 6 people in a popular area of downtown Indianapolis over the weekend. The head of the police union, Rick Snyder, and leader of Indy's 10-Point Coalition, Reverend Charles Harrison, delivered a strong message for everyone in Indianapolis. On Saturday night, a gunman shot 6 people outside the Steak and Shake on West Maryland Street. That's just blocks from Monument Circle and right by the Circle Center Mall. Snyder and Harrison say violence like this is happening in the heart of Indianapolis far too often, and no one seems to be concerned enough.
Where's the outrage? Where are our elected, departmental, business, and civic leaders declaring that violence such as this is unacceptable in our community? Instead, we have watched politicians banter back and forth while others seem to shrug off the incident, all while our police officers are left trying to hold things together on the front lines without clear support or direction. This is not about politics. It's about people. And people are being critically injured and dying in our streets, and no one seems to care.
Snyder went on to say the Indianapolis criminal justice system is broken. He says officers keep arresting the same offenders due to a system of catch and release criminal justice. He argues sentences for offenders need to be more severe. Snyder also says the juvenile justice system is broken. He says too many kids are released to their parents instead of spending time in a juvenile detention center.
New at 5, we are learning a Madison County Sheriff's Department K-9 attacked a woman who was being helped by its deputy handler last week. Madison County Sheriff Scott Mellinger says the incident happened around 8 Friday evening near County Road 100 West and County Road 1000 North. Mellinger says the deputy was tending to a crash victim when his K-9 jumped out of the cruiser and bit the victim. Medics took the victim to an Anderson hospital to be treated for injuries from the crash and from the K-9's bite. The K-9 is now on an off-duty status until the Madison County Sheriff's Department can determine the dog behaved appropriately as trained and if the deputy took proper precautions when he left the vehicle.
Next on the news at 5 here, South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg deals with an unexpected guest on the campaign trail, what he had to deal with and how he took care of that problem.
Looks like he was calm, whatever the problem was. You can see rain to the southwest and the northwest. When will rain be in central Indiana? We'll get into that coming up.
For the world's best way to buy contacts.
Welcome back. Day 9 of the General Motors nationwide strike, and workers from 2 Indiana plants picketed together today. Employees from the Marion and Kokomo GM plants met in Marion to show solidarity and the union's push for higher wages and the reopening of plants GM plans to close.
When paychecks don't come in, people's morale may start to go down a little bit, but we're all standing in solidarity, and we're going to stand in solidarity till the end of this. And I think for our plant here locally, we're going to be strong.
The UAW says some progress has been made during negotiations, but a deal has not been reached. The workers will receive strike pay of $250 a week should they hit the 15-day mark next week, but that is a drastic cut from their weekly pay. South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg is trying to become the Democratic nominee in his run for president of the United States.
On the campaign trail in Iowa, he spoke to a large audience of supporters, one of which just wouldn't leave him alone.
The reason I say Medicare for all who want it is that I also, in the name of freedom, respect Americans' ability to figure out for themselves what is right. Hey there. Oh, that's an unexpected visitor. Yeah. I guess I'm just that sweet.
Buttigieg confirmed it was a yellow jacket that visited him on that stage. The insect flew around the mayor for a while before landing on his tie. Buttigieg couldn't get the bee off his tie, so he removed the tie from around his neck and handed it to someone else to take outside. Buttigieg didn't want to harm the yellow jacket.
My reaction would have been a little different.
You would have screamed and flipped and flailed. And
so I applaud him for that.
I remember as a kid being stung by a yellow jacket. My arm just swelled up.
They're a little more of the aggressive ones, yeah.
It hurts.
All right, 2 days in a row, we've had highs in the 70s. That's after 14 straight days where temperatures were in the 80s. Another comfortable evening in progress, and it is a dry one as well. I don't know when you set your alarm clock for this morning, but if you slept past 6:30, then you outslept the coolest temperatures. Our low temperature in Indy occurred at 6:33. It was 49 in Lafayette, Terre Haute, and Bloomington. Temperature in Indy, as we mentioned, in the lower 50s. We won't be that cool tomorrow morning. We've made a decent recovery thanks to a southwest wind. Fell short of that 80-degree mark, sitting just shy of that up in Delaware County. 79 in Muncie. Temperature in Lafayette, Terre Haute, and Bloomington all right at 77. And throw Indy in the same bucket. Here's your wind. It will be around 5 miles per hour tonight. It will be windy tomorrow. Winds will gust 20 to 30 miles per hour, and that will keep our temperatures upper 70s once again out of a warmer direction. Closest showers are portions of southern Missouri, northern Minnesota. Eventually, there'll be a frontal boundary which will drop our way and increase the chance for showers and thunderstorms as we go through the weekend. But it's going to be a low chance. I think in general, the better opportunity for rain will be over the northern portion of the state and into lower Michigan. No chance of rain this evening. Temperature will move to 64 by 11 o'clock tonight. Wake up in the morning, instead of 50 degrees, it'll be closer to 60 in most locations. We'll have more sunshine in the morning, more clouds in the afternoon. As I mentioned, it's a low chance for rain, but it is a daily chance for showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, generally 20 to maybe 30%. 7 o'clock in the morning, a couple of sprinkles in western Indiana, and you see what I mean by isolated. 10 a.m., couple of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder in eastern portions of Illinois. 1 o'clock, very broken line of showers and isolated thunderstorms. Don't get your hopes up. Just be thankful if you do get some rain during the day tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s. We'll have another opportunity tomorrow night. There's your strong wind out of the south. It will gust to 30 miles per hour. The real warmth starts to kick into the forecast as we get beyond the weekend. Once our chance for rain disappears, the heat will build. Temperatures Monday and Tuesday in the upper 80s once again. Next several days, about 5 in a row, we'll have a low chance for rain, but at least there's a chance.
You can get a little reprieve of summer, too. All right, thanks, Ken, for that.
A small town, a mysterious accident, and a child at the center of it all.
That is the basis for ABC's new show Emergence, which premieres tonight. The town's police chief realizes the little girl found at the accident site has no memory of what happened or who she is. An investigation begins into what led up to the accident and how and why it happened.
It slowly spirals into a conspiracy larger than anyone could have imagined, and audiences will be drawn back week after week as more and more questions are answered.
Usually in these shows where something supernatural happens, the government's involved, or it's a way bigger scope. This starts off in a small town in upstate New York, and nobody's really prepared for something like this. And so what's intriguing about this and what will bring audiences back is that they can imagine themselves in this situation because we're normal people. We're not FBI agents. We're not Secret Service. We're not, you know, the president isn't involved.
And Dad's totally fine with it.
And you can get to the premiere of Emergence only on RTV6 tonight at 10 o'clock, followed by the news at 11. A major change coming to the menus at Disney World and Disneyland. What you can expect the next time you go to the most magical place on Earth.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Hello and a very good day to you. I'm Julie Grant with Court TV, and we are day number 2 of a very high-profile murder trial happening right now in Dallas, Texas. A white off-duty police officer is being accused of murdering a black man in his own apartment. Amber Geiger, a 5-year veteran of the Dallas Police Force, says she was getting off work and mistakenly got off at the wrong floor of her apartment building. She says she was thinking she was walking into her own unit and it was being burglarized by a man named both Botham Jean. Geiger says that she drew her weapon and shot Jean twice, one of those shots hitting him and killing him in his own home. Geiger maintains this was a fatal mistake. Now she's being accused by the state of Texas for the crime of murder. We expect to hear from more prosecution witnesses throughout the day. The jury has already heard the 911 call that Geiger made right after she shot Botham Jean. They also saw body camera footage from those first responders who entered into the apartment after she made the 911 call. Now, during that 911 call, something interesting to note, 19 times Geiger mentioned the fact that she did not know she wasn't in her own apartment building. The medical examiner is also expected to take the stand today. Of course, you can count on our Court TV Live crew to be there to bring you all of it with our gavel-to-gavel coverage. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Julie. And you can stream Court TV Live anywhere, anytime at courttv.com. Well, Disney is going vegan.
Well, at least the company's theme parks are, and that includes Disney World and Disneyland. Every menu, including those at Disney-branded hotel restaurants, will feature meatless options.
Yeah, the company says it will add more than 400 vegan dishes at Disney World in Florida and by early October, followed by California's Disneyland in spring of 2020.
And to help people spot the vegan options, Disney says it will add a new green leaf logo to the menu.
Changes are coming.
Always good to have more options.
All new at 6 p.m. here on RTV6. Plans for a new hotel in the downtown area are announced today. The location that may make it attractive to downtown diners.
But first on the Now Indy, you may often see ads on Facebook and Instagram for weight loss pills and other products. The latest trick they use to get you to click. You're watching RTV6.